What stood out about Houston's team defense and then the way Amin Thompson defended Steph?
Yeah, they were great. I mean, ball pressure. They forced 20 turnovers. They've been one of the hottest teams in the league and probably the best defensive team, in the league this last month. And they took it to us. They were great tonight.
Steve, you talked about Steph's fatigue in the last month, and obviously he's been carrying a huge offensive load over the last few games. Yeah. Do you think tonight was a symptom of fatigue, or do you think it was a bit more with his performance tonight?
I mean, it's this is the NBA season. You go through 82 games, and there's just games where you don't have it. Every player, no matter how good you are. So Steph didn't have it tonight. They did a great job defensively. Take tomorrow off and get ready for Phoenix, and you guys get to analyze everything. But it's all part of the season.
Steve, what was the most difficult part to try and fight against? I mean, they're a taller team, athletic, energetic, all those things. What are the hardest part about this team to play?
They have great size and athleticism, at pretty much every position. And Ime's done a great job. They've really established an identity, and they kind of know who they are. And so, great defensive team, and they played a really good defensive game tonight.
You have said, and many others have said many years, or true proof behind it is that, age can be a factor in the NBA. Is their age difficult to deal with because it brings a certain energy too?
Because they're young?
Yeah, I mean, is their age and energy combined a difficult thing to deal with for guys that have been on the road like you guys have been for a while?
They're a young team on the rise. They got a lot of good, talented young athletes, and they're playing well, and they just beat OKC 2 days ago, and like I said, one of the hottest teams in the league, and there's a reason, they're 52-27. They're a great team.
This was the fifth matchup between you guys and the Rockets. It got testy at moments. How would you describe the tension between these two teams?
It's just competitive, It's two very competitive teams. You got a lot of guys out there who are fighting for everything and who care about everything, and this is how it's going to be. And this will be what the playoffs will present. So our guys know that, and they're up for the challenge. They've been through this many times.
And what was your message to Draymond at halftime after the way the end of his half ended?
I didn't have a message for him. Yeah. We were just planning for the second half. That was it.
Steve, how tricky was it? Obviously, you got Houston getting some offensive stuff, so you're playing defensive guys, GP2 and Looney, versus you realize, okay, we got to score some points here. How tricky was that kind of balance tonight?
Well, that's always the game, as a coach. Unless you just know your five guys who are, that you're always going to go with. We always have decisions to make based on offense and defense and whatever the balance is. So, we found, I thought Buddy and Gary off the bench really played well. We needed, Buddy's shooting. We needed Gary's ability to set the screen and dive against their blitzes, and he caught the ball in the pocket, made some really good plays. So I thought we had guys who stepped up and played well, but Houston just played a lot better than we did.
Steve, what do you think was the key reason for our loss today? I know you mentioned we have 20 turnovers, but they have 15 as well. Do you think the turnover is the biggest problem for today?
The key reason for the loss is Houston. Houston played a great game. Sometimes it's really simple. They played a great game. They played great defense. They deserve to win.
It looked like Draymond was really energized for that Sengun matchup. What do you think about Draymond's fire tipping into 5 fouls, a technical, and a flagrant?
I love Draymond's fire. There's a reason we got 4 banners up there. We wouldn't have any without Draymond. So I love his fire, and he was fighting out there. It just didn't go our way.
Steve, in a game where Steph only makes one shot, would you have wanted to see Jimmy be a little bit more aggressive in the second half to kind of galvanize you guys a bit more?
Yeah, I think when I watch the tape, I'll probably see some things that I could have done better just to get Jimmy more involved. And, we're still kind of learning You know, how to play, how to put this team together on certain nights. You know, Houston did change some matchups around. They had Sengun guarding Moses, you know, to try to disrupt our offensive flow, and they did a good job with that. So, you know, if we see them in the playoffs, we'll have this tape to look at, and we'll find ways to get Jimmy more involved for sure.
It looked like Ime Udoka had some words for Steph walking off the halftime.
For who?
Steph Curry. Ime Udoka was saying something to Steph as he walked off the court. Did you see that? Or
I didn't see it. Yeah.
For a minute there, you guys had the 4th seed, and now there's a 5-way tie for what, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 4-way tie. How much do you think this is going to shift? Like on a day, is it going to be a daily basis the rest of the way going down the stretch? And are you guys watching it very closely?
Yeah, we're watching. I look at every score, and I look at the schedule for tomorrow and the next day. And the only thing I know for sure is if we win our last 4 games, we're not in the play-in. And that's we knew that coming into tonight. We needed to win 4 of our last 5. We might get a little help, so maybe we don't need to win all 4. But you can't worry about any of that. You just got to worry about the next game and keep winning. Our guys have done such an incredible job to climb up to this point, you know, where we were 6 weeks ago. What an incredible run this has been. But you're not going to win every game, and ran into a hot team, played a great game. You just quickly move on. So I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch the White Lotus, and then I'm going to get on the plane tomorrow. Just being honest. You know. Thank you.
Late was night? Night, good night, sorry.
But buddy, things have obviously been going so well over here to your right.
What's up with it?
Going so well for such a long time. You haven't won every game, but you won almost every game. What is the feeling like in the middle of this? Is it a little frustration? Is it a little surprise when things get so tough in a game like this?
You can't win them all. Shout out to Houston. They played really tough tonight. But we had a good stretch going on, you know, and you know, we didn't really execute it how we wanted to tonight. But that's how the NBA goes. You're not going to win them all. And the ship hasn't sunk. You know, just keep building every day. You know, and following Steve lead and Steph and Draymond and the guys behind them, and just taking one game at a time. We have 4 more games left. Am I correct? 4 more games left. So 1 game at a time, and I think if we win them out, take one at a time and win them out, I think we should be fine.
What were some of the challenges they presented defensively tonight?
They're tough. I think we can score against them. It's just, I think our turnovers just kill us, you know. And they're a team that thrive off of turnovers, you know. And I think that we score pretty fine. You know, we had good ball movement, good shots, you know, that we liked. I think that our turnovers kill us.
What's it like playing a team 5 times in a season?
It's fun, you know, especially a team like that's scrappy and gets after it. You know, you love to compete against teams like that.
Could you tell Draymond was especially getting revved up there in the second quarter? And just what did you think of him and Sengun kind of getting into it like that?
That's Draymond, man. He's a competitor. He's one of the game's ultimate all-time competitors. He's going to come every night, and that's his job to get us going on. And he's defensive player of the year, in our opinion. And hopefully get the second one. But he's a leader. That's what he does, to get us going. And whenever Draymond is going like that, we support him 100%. That's it. So much people, little answers. Crazy. Bye.